Hello there, it's Siobhan here, the Galloping Housewife. I'm on my way on my daily yard commute over to see my horses. And I'm actually, I didn't record yesterday. I had David, my husband, dropped me off on the way in. He was heading into into the wee town for another appointment, so going past the yard, so he dropped me off. Yeah, just want to talk to that a little bit, just acknowledge the fact that it's we're doing all right, but we even so we actually think about how many car trips we take, whether it's worth getting in the car and going to do things, or whether we can combine trips a little bit more. So yeah, David was going in, so he actually he was going into Ayr, and he dropped me off on the way, and yeah, yesterday I rode both of them. I jumped Percy again. We had I set up a little course. Today's Saturday, so it must have been Thursday that I went out there and set up a little course and left it up. And so Percy, I jumped him around that course again yesterday. So 2 days in a row, he's had a wee pop over fences, changed distances a little bit, and put them up a little bit, and yeah, he was great. He was really cool. So and then I got on Mitch, and Mitch had the day off the day before, and he there was a bit going on. There was another horse that arrived on the yard, and the jumps were obviously in the arena, so there was quite a bit that was different for him. And he started out a little bit looking for an excuse. He spooked a bit. It was a little bit up, and needed to deal with his adrenaline a bit. But he was great. He was really good, and and I challenged him again a little bit more, pushed him through. Not pushed him through. I'm not one that rides through the adrenaline, but I made him figure himself out and then get on and do some work. And when it got to the point where he was, rather than having adrenaline to deal with, he was a little bit looking for an excuse. I just said, no, you're going and you're going to do some work. And he was just cracker. I mean, really, really good. And just showing how sensitive he actually is, and that all his behaviours are a result of the kind of learned helplessness a little bit. They are his ways of dealing with himself when he is a little unsure. So but he's good. He was really good. And yeah, so I'm going out there today. I'm actually, I don't know, it's an absolute corker of a day here in Scotland. It's 17 degrees. It is very little, just a light breeze, if anything, and it's magic. It's proper springtime weather. Well, actually for Scotland it's probably summertime weather, but we are still only in March, and there is, in fact, according to the weather, it's supposed to be turning a little bit. We'll get a bit of rain and maybe a little bit more snow again next week, and then I think that'll probably be the last of it for the winter. So cracking day. I've done a little bit of work this morning, went out last night with my cousins, and I have so I did a little bit of work this morning, and I'm just going to go out and ride Mitch. I'm going to give Percy the day off after 2 days jumping, and I'll probably take him for a hack tomorrow. So yeah, everything's good. And actually, that's kind of what I wanted to say, is that, it was that feeling of getting in the car, and so many days I don't really want to acknowledge it. So many days we can't be asked, or so many days it's a bit of a challenge to get yourself out the door and to do what you need to do, as much as you like it, and yada yada yada. But that it is still, you have to really, you have to go, I have to get changed now, I have to get in the car now, I have to drive to the yard or the barn or whatever. And actually that's a really interesting thing that that perhaps New Zealanders won't understand so much, is this, because most New Zealanders have their horses at home. It's really, really uncommon to have them at grazing or on, it's certainly not in a livery situation. It's just, it's not normal. People have a little bit of land and the horses are at home, which has its pluses and its minuses. Whereas certainly in the States and here in the UK, it's far, far more common to have your horses out and on livery based with a trainer, which again has its pluses and minuses. So it's a bit of an issue to get out going, and today it was just like, I really want to go. I want to go and sit on Mitch, really looking forward to it, to seeing what progress he makes today, or what progress I make today is actually probably more to the point. It's good. And I was saying to David as coming home, Mitch had gone really well, and Percy's jumping, he's back to crazy little Percy. He's not a superstar, but he's my Percy, and he's cool, he's good fun, and it feels like I've got two horses doing proper horse stuff, as opposed to Percy being fat and unfit and hadn't been ridden in ages, and Mitch being in and out of the hospital, and prior to that I had I've had a good season on Percy, but it's like it's been a long time with no horses to ride. Before that was a long time with no horses to ride at all, and I haven't had a horse that I've been training for the dressage arena. It'll be 4 years now, probably. And considering that's my main sport, it's like, it's a long time. It's a long time. So it's great to be back out there doing it, and really want to acknowledge that, how lucky I feel actually wanting to go to the yard. And I mean, like, I did really want to go to the yard when I was right. We just had Percy, and we're buying Percy. That was what he was there for, was to actually acknowledge the fun of it all. That was that riding should be fun, and that I should be looking forward to getting out there. So and he served that purpose. It's and he's still serving that purpose. That's his job. And it's a good thing, and if you're not, and obviously I didn't have horses for quite a while before I got Percy, but back when I had my other two, with them being out of work with unsoundness and all that type of stuff, and always wanting to go out and do, be improving or doing something more. It's just not really feeling it. It's better. It's the only way. I mean, like, we spend far too much time, money and effort on these fucking things, for us not to just love it. So that's my bit for the day. Happy days, and it is, like I said, great day here, and I hope it is with you too, and I will see you on the trip tomorrow. Bye now.